Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, I can't test this. Let me share this live stream. How the heck do I do this? Am I live? I think I'm live. How do I do this? I think I'm live. I'm not sure exactly. Let me. How the heck do I check if I'm live? Oh, there we go. Check if I'm live. Oh, there we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. Let me share this live stream to my Instagram. See if anyone will join. All right. All right, so I'm going to share this stream to my Instagram, see if anyone joins. If we get people, we get like at least a couple people for 30 minutes. I think that would be a good I just lost my train of thought. Oh, all right. Let me share this live stream to my YouTube. Live on YouTube. Come talk fishing with me. All right. Fishing emoji. Let me make this YouTube link big and let me add a click button. Looks like we got someone in the chat. If you're in the chat, can you let me know if my audio is good? I'm not sure if my audio is working good. I think it should be. Yeah, if you could do me a favor and let me know in the comment section if my audio is working good. All right, so I just shared it to my Instagram. Hopefully we get some people joining the chat. All right, looks like we got 2 people in the live stream. Welcome. Can you let me know if my audio is working good? You guys still kind of getting used to my my new microphone, so can you let me know if the audio is working, please? Yeah, we'll wait for a couple people to join the stream. For today's stream, I want to talk about just some fishing, and then I got some of my tackle here, a couple lures, some of my leader, just some random things. Let me grab a couple things while people join the chat. Got a couple of these Z-Man paddle tails that I want to show you guys. Yeah, these paddle tails were my favorite back in the day when I first started the channel, so I actually just recently ran into them again, and I figured I'd pick up a pack, but I'll show you guys in a bit the exact color. Let's just wait for some people to join this live stream. Let's see if we can get, I don't know, maybe like 5 5 people in here and just start talking about all this stuff. But if you guys are here, let me know if my audio is working well. I think it should be, but just want to double check. Maybe you guys don't even hear me. Grab a couple other things. Got a couple of these that I want to show you guys. All right. All right, so I think, yeah, I'll show you guys this. I'll pull out this. Wait for a couple more people to join. So far, we still got 2. Let me see. All right. Yeah, let me know, you guys. How are you guys doing today? Fans. All right. Welcome, everyone. Stream's just getting started, so grab a seat, grab a drink, and get comfortable. We'll probably be streaming for like let's just see how long we stay active in the chat. But I want to stream for like hopefully a solid hour. That would be nice. But yeah, I'm bringing out some lures that I want to show you guys. Some of the stuff I use. So what's it called? We get people in here. See if we what's it called? See if any of you guys can let me know if my audio is good. Let me show you guys this. I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but you guys will see a common trend with all my lures and tackle. I really only use a couple brands, but let me put this here. But yeah, welcome you guys. Audio is good. Okay, audio is good. All right, that's good to hear. Welcome everyone. Ruben, welcome. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you tuning in to watch the videos. I'm just grabbing some tackle and lures that I want to show you guys. Give me a second. But yeah. Let me know, you guys. How's your day going so far? What do you guys want to see? You know, I wanted to live stream today because I just wanted to talk about some fishing and some of the lures I use and see what you guys want to see. You know, if you guys want to see any lures or any specific things that for specific fish that I like to personally use, let me know. I got a couple lures, some of my favorite lures here in front of me. So let me know in the chat what you guys want to see, or just let me know how you guys are doing today. You know, let me know if you guys got any plans this 4th of July, cooking out with the family, or what you guys planned. You guys got planned. So just pulling out a couple more lures that I want to show you guys. Hopefully I don't get a treble stuck in my finger. Now I'm gonna have to call Captain Swampy to get it out of my finger. All right, Mr. Swampy, I appreciate you stopping by for that fresh cut, letting me take care of you. You know I always got you, even though you ain't got much hair left, but I do my best. All jokes. YouTube, this isn't any alcoholic drinks. It's just a mineral water. So don't demonetize me, YouTube, please. And I think I got everything I want to show you guys. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff here in front of me. I got actually bring out some of my favorite hooks that I like to use. I feel like that doesn't get talked about enough sometimes, like hooks and jig heads. I feel like it gets overlooked a lot of times. Let's see, we got okay. I have so many stuff here, you guys. I got way too much tackle. Maybe for my next giveaway, I'll give away some of this stuff. I feel like at this point, I'm just hoarding a lot of this stuff. Where is this? Okay, I want to show you guys these weedless hooks. These are really good. Been some of my favorite hooks to use for weedless rigs. I think that's pretty much it. So okay, we got a couple people here in the chat. Let me read the chat, see what's going on. Ruben, all right, yeah. Want to talk tarpon? Tarpon lures. So I'm sure you've watched a couple of my videos. You probably know what one of my favorite tarpon lures is, but let me grab it, and I'll grab the exact color too. So my go-to tarpon lure is this DOA Terrorize. You guys are probably familiar with it. It's nothing new. It's nothing. It's not a secret. This lure works great for tarpon. I don't know what it is about it. It's a goofy looking lure. You just look at it and it's just like, what does this resemble? I'm not really sure what it resembles. Maybe like I guess a little bait fish, but just the way it swims in the water. It's interesting because it doesn't have much action. It's just kind of like darts through the water in a way. I feel like the tail just flutters a little bit, enough action for these tarpon to want to hit it. And honestly, like this lure also works really good with snook. I've caught a lot of good snook, and I've had buddies catch a lot of great snook, good sized snook with this lure. One of the most memorable catches on the Ginu was when I took out my buddy Javier, and we were fishing under some docks, and he casted one of these under a dock, and he ended up pulling a 37-inch snook out of one of these docks. And yeah, with this exact lure. The one downside about these DOA Terrorize, it's not really the plastic itself, but the hook that it comes with is usually not the strongest. um I feel like sometimes you do get a really strong one, sometimes you get a really like flimsy one that if you have your drag locked down, it could possibly straighten out the hook. And what's it called, I've lost a couple fish in the past from fish just putting a lot of pressure and just straighten out the hook. So, but yeah, where can you get these? Pretty much any major tackle store, any local tackle shop probably carries this. But in my area, I usually get these at Ace Hardware. And when I'm at Bass Pro, I always pick some up there just because they tend to carry a couple more colors. Um, Let me show you some of the other colors I have. Let's see. So these are like the most popular colors I like to use. We got the root beer gold. We got I forgot the exact name, but it's a purple, something purple, like a midnight purple maybe. And then we got this like gold color one with like a black back. And then I got these two other colors that I don't really use, but I have them in case I ever wanted to use a crazy color. But I got this chartreuse one. Um, yeah, if you guys know me, or my close friends and my close fishing buddies know that I rarely throw chartreuse. It's a color I don't know. I just don't feel confident with. I'm not sure what it is about it. I feel like because I like to use lures that look a little bit more natural, and the chartreuse, there's really nothing out there in the waters that is this color. So, but sometimes you got to throw an oddball at them. I know my buddy Captain Swampy. I know he swears by chartreuse, and yeah, he's caught a lot of good sized fish with the chartreuse color. The only chartreuse I tend to throw is like a root beer gold with like a chartreuse tail or something like that, but that's as chartreuse as I get. Other than that, I just for the most part leave this in my tackle box, and sometimes I don't even bring any chartreuse colors with me. Um, and then I got this other color, which is an interesting color. It's like a not a root beer gold. It has like a little. It's kind of like opaque a little bit. It's hard to tell, but it's got some sparkle in it. Yeah, it's got like a brown hue with yeah a whole bunch of sparkles in it, and I think I've landed a tarpon with this colorway in the past, but it's one that I'm still not sure how I feel about it. But what's it called? I feel like the sparkles can help out. Maybe in like darker settings, sometimes you need a little bit of a flash to kind of get these fish's attention, and I think this color would work well in that scenario. But hey, you guys, that's pretty much my go-to tarpon lure. For those of you guys that are just joining in, had one of the guys in the chat ask me what is my favorite tarpon lure, and it's this DOA Terrorize, not in this color, but in this color. So just to kind of recap, so this is my go-to tarpon lure. Um, I actually have all three sizes of the Terrorize, so let me show you guys. Give me 1 second. But let me see what's going on in the chat. If it ain't chartreuse, there ain't no use. Yeah, I've heard that saying. Yeah, I guess it ain't got no use for me. I ain't got no use for chartreuse. Better say. But yeah, when I'm retrieving one of these DOA Terrorize for tarpon, for the most part, if I know the tarpon are there and they're doing a very like slow roll for the most part, like they're coming up and kind of taking their time when they roll, to me, I've had the most luck just kind of casting like on top of them, waiting for them to roll, and then casting on top of them or somewhere in the near vicinity, and just letting the terrorize just sink. And then as I feel it sink, and when it hits bottom, I start to slowly retrieve the DOA terrorize, and I just go very slow and steady, and I don't do anything fancy, just slow and steady. And I've had probably the most luck, retrieving these DOA terrorize. Yeah, like that. I've had the most tarpon hits like that. But sometimes, I do that method and they want nothing to do with it, and that's when I kind of get a little creative with it. I'll sometimes cast out there, let it hit the bottom, and then I'll give it two twitches, let it sink, two twitches, and then let it sink again, and just kind of do that whole like twitching, pattern over and over, and hopefully get like a reaction strike out of one of these tarpon. But those are the two main ways I retrieve it. Sometimes, I'll reel it in fast. I don't get too many hits like that, but I have in the past, especially when they're like fired up. You like if you see them fired up, they're just hitting everything. Like you could throw anything in there and they will probably hit it. Like that when they're fired up, they're fired up. Like it don't matter what you throw in there. Um, but yeah, for the most part, slow and steady retrieval with these guys, or twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause, and just kind of doing that whole motion. And sometimes, I'll do the twitches like a little bit quicker, and then the pause a little longer, or just kind of mix it up, until you see like a pattern that they like. And once you see like what pattern they hit, just keep repeating that same process, and they'll most likely hit again. So that's pretty much how I like to retrieve these guys. They're such a beginner friendly lure, but also advanced fishermen and people that have been fishing for a long time still use these. So it's a lure that's very versatile with any fisherman level or whatever. But yeah, it's just a great all around tarpon lure. And size tarpon, when it comes to size tarpon, you know I've had tarpon, as small as like maybe not this small, but what's it called? Yeah, up to like maybe like 12 inches, tarpon as small as 12 inches to tarpon, when it comes to these guys, for some reason the big tarpon also like them. But like I said earlier, if you hook a big tarpon with the factory setting hook, what's it called? You probably will get that hook straightened out because that hook is not meant to hook a tarpon any bigger than, I don't know, I'd say like 40 pounds. But tarpon as big as like 100 to 120 pounds will hit this lure. I don't know what it is, but that saying that elephants eat peanuts, it's very true. Um, but what's it called? But yeah, tarpon of all sizes love this lure. So always got to carry one in your tackle box. Me personally, I carry all the colors, and I carry multiple, just because this is my go-to tarpon lure, and I'm so confident in it. And yeah, so go-to tarpon lure. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Um, let's see. Yeah, man. The land-based videos. I've been doing a lot of land-based fishing. Um, that's kind of going back to my roots of always fishing like that. I've been fishing more land-based wise, just because I haven't had my Ginu service, but I actually just dropped it off yesterday for some service. So hopefully I get it back by the holiday, and hopefully I'm able to get out in the water this Sunday. That'd be really nice to finally get back on the water on Sundays. I do miss that. I remember there was a 2 years straight where every Sunday I just go out and just fish all day. So I do miss that. But yeah, hopefully I get my Ginu back this week, and if I get it back, I'll be out in the water. But yeah, no, the land-based fishing, it's really fun. Actually, before getting on here, I was actually doing some land-based fishing, and I had a pretty good session. Not much fish were landed, but the fish were there, and I had quite a bit of action. So I'll be working on that video to drop most likely Friday. I'll drop it most likely Friday, and that way you guys can watch it on your day off. I assume most of you guys will have off on the 4th, and yeah, I'll drop it that day. That way you guys can watch it that day. And yeah, it's when it comes to land-based fishing, it's still one of my favorite things to do. And yeah, you guys will see the type of land-based fishing I do in this next video. It's the type of land-based fishing that I need to do more. I just what's it called? I just haven't really thought about doing it, but you guys will see in this week's video. But it was a good session for only being out there for like an hour and a half. It was good. But Swampy, talking about the upgraded hooks for the DOA Terrorize. I don't know if I have any. So with the DOA Terrorize, I think he's referring to these. There's a guy out of Punta Gorda that sells custom hooks for these Skyline jigs, I believe is his Instagram. And like I was saying, that the hooks that come with these DOA Terrorize are not the greatest. um they, like I said, if you hook a decent sized fish, or any fish that's putting some good pressure on, like, it will most likely straighten out the hook. And if it doesn't, you definitely have weakened that hook. But there is a guy, yeah, out of Punta Gorda that does make custom hooks for these DOA Terrorize, and those hooks are sharp as heck, and they will not bend. I'm so confident in that hook that I could probably land like 150 tarpon, like, no problem with that hook. Like, not, I guess better say, like, I have confidence that that hook would not straighten out on a tarpon that big. Because landing a tarpon that big, I don't. That's another challenge in itself. But what's it called? But yeah, Skyline, I believe Skyline Jigs is his Instagram. I ordered like Forgot. I think I ordered like like 2 dozen of custom hooks for these, and they lasted me a while. I was just very picky on where I used them. I didn't like to use them around structure because getting broken off with those hooks kind of hurt a little bit because they are a little bit pricey. I think I forgot how much they were, but they were a little pricey. I'm not gonna lie, but they were definitely worth it because when I would hook a fish with the custom hook, they would always stick for the most part, and yeah, I've had a lot of confidence in that hook. But Ruben, hopefully no rain. Yeah, it's we're in that summertime pattern where rain. It's just bound to rain every afternoon, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this year the rain has been a little bit later in the afternoon. Um, I feel like the rain, in previous years or even growing up, I feel like the rain would always rain like around like 1 to like 4 o'clock the latest, and the whole afternoon it'd be like just sunlight and perfect weather. But it seems like this rain has been falling a little bit later in the afternoon or early evening, which kind of sucks because sometimes I get off of work early, and I don't mind getting a little wet when I'm out fishing, but a lot of these thunderstorms have lightning on it, and lightning is just I don't mess with lightning, especially carrying a fishing pole in your hand. You're just like asking for it. But yeah, the afternoon storms have definitely been messing up my fishing a little bit, but yeah, and I fish down here in South Florida. I'm located in South Florida, Ruben. So I don't. I guess I'm just talking about the rain pattern for down here. I forget that everywhere is different. um, but oh yeah, let me show you guys. So I showed you guys the DOA Terrorize, like the normal one. I do have two of the other sizes. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen them before. So this is the other one of the other ones, but this is the big Terrorize. A little bit, a little different, a little different. Grab this one to kind of compare the sizes. So definitely a difference in sizes. This one, I don't know the exact size of this. It has to be probably like 3 inches, and then this big Terrorize probably like around 5 inches. But it is they do look different. I feel like so the small Terrorize doesn't have this like little fin that the big Terrorize has. Um, and the big Terrorize, the tail, the bottom part of the tail extends out a lot more for some reason. I'm not sure why they didn't just make just like a, just a bigger version of this, like to the exact, just kind of like scale it bigger. But I guess the tail on this one is also just extends out just a little bit more. But yeah, no, it looks a little bit different than the big Terrorize. And then the other Terrorize is I think it's the mini Terrorize or tiny Terrorize. But it's this little guy, this little cute guy. It's funny looking. It's got so let me pull up the other Terrorize. So it's significantly smaller. Um, yeah, I've actually never. I don't think I've ever caught a fish with this. I actually today threw this around a little bit because I saw a lot of micro tarpon, and I thought for sure throwing this thing would entice them to eat. But actually, they were not interested in it, and I think it's just because I wasn't able to get it in their face. I think it didn't have enough weight to just like sink down. It just kind of stayed on top, which this thing doesn't weigh anything. I can almost you can probably cast this with the fly setup, and what's it called? Yeah, this thing is pretty cool. I feel like there's definitely it's a very situational type of lure. Um, but yeah, the size difference, this thing's got to be like I don't know, maybe like 2 inches max, but pretty cool. I got these at Bass Pro actually. So Bass Pro carries them. It's the only like tackle store I know that carries them, and then the big terrorize I've actually never seen at any of these tackle stores. The guys at DOA, they actually sent me a care package like about a year ago, and yeah, in that care package they threw me a couple of these big terrorize. Let me show you the other colors that they threw in. So got these colors, and I think these guys, um, how I've thrown them so far, I haven't really thrown them at bigger tarpon, which I think I will for sure throw them at some bigger tarpon this summer. But the way I've thrown these is when I'm around structure, like I know there's like fish, or I feel like there's fish in the structure. I throw these because the jig heads that come with these big terrorized are usually like 1 ounce. So what I do is I like to throw these around like structure and just bounce it off the bottom, and I'm hoping to get like some Goliath grouper or snook or redfish, whatever's down there, honestly. But yeah, these are what these what I have in mind for these big terrorize. Um Another, like, same thing with the other terrorize, the hook. I feel like if I do end up hooking a Goliath grouper with one of these big terrorized, like the hook is probably going to straighten out. I am almost like 80% that it probably will straighten out. And it's not because the hook is a little bit beefier for these, but still, a Goliath grouper, when I'm fishing for Goliaths, I usually use like a very beefy hook. So I do think the hooks that come with these are not as beefy as the ones I like to use. So they probably would straighten out. I would have to have my drag a little bit loose to be able to, what's it called, muscle a Goliath out of a hole. But yeah, the hooks that come with these are not the beefiest. So just a fair warning. But these lures, these big terrorize, I feel like have a lot of potential to catch me some good fish, especially just bouncing it off the bottom, which I used to do a lot more with a lot of lures, especially fishing around structure. Like if you're fishing around structure, bouncing off the bottom is one of the most effective ways to fish any spot. That's how I used to fish bridges all the time when I was younger, and that's how I caught like a lot of good quality snook in the past, just bouncing off the bottom. So yeah, this is what I have in mind for these big terrorize. But swampy. Oh, I did catch some. I did use these with you. These mini terrorize or tiny terrorize. I can't remember. Mini purple. I don't remember. Maybe this was a long time ago. I don't remember. I feel like I did have a pack of mini purple. Now that you say it, I don't remember what trip that was though. But yeah, these things are cool. I really want to catch something with this tiny terrorize. I want to see if this hook holds up. I feel like the hook's not bad, but yeah, I really want to catch something with this. What's it called? It'd be pretty sick. Imagine hooking into like a 50-pound tarpon with this little guy. But I mean, like I said earlier, elephants eat peanuts, and I know that's a saying that Camp Swampy likes to say all the time. Which makes sense because fly fishermen, they use flies of this size, and they hook into like monster tarpon and monster snook. So this guy can very well catch a big fish, I'm sure. But yeah, you guys, those of you guys just tuning in. Appreciate you guys stopping by. We're just talking about some tackle and some of my lures, and just talking about fishing. It's Tuesday. I figured maybe start something called Tackle Tuesday. Just talk about my tackle and just fishing, and just be be hanging out with you guys and just seeing how you guys are doing. Talk fishing. I could talk fishing all day. Very passionate about it. So yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, put in the chat. Say what's up. Want to know who's in these live streams. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Means a lot. But yeah, you guys are tuning in, say what's up. Have any questions, any lures that you guys want to see, any, there are specific lures. I have right now, I have in front of me lures that I use for tarpon, snook, reds. So if there's any specific fish, lure, or whatever that you guys want to see that I use for certain fish, let me know. um, I do have a couple lures that I want to show you guys that I don't really use, but maybe ask you guys if you guys have any experience with them. But oh, in my hand, oh yeah, I grabbed this for a reason. In my hand is probably one of the lures I use the most on this channel. What's it called? Yeah, this lure is almost like a search bait for me. When I'm fishing a new area, that I just have not, yeah, when I'm just fishing a new area and I just don't know what's in the water, um, what's it called? Yeah, yeah, when I'm in a new area, just and I don't know what's in the water, I like to use this lure to kind of, just search and see what's in the water, because for the most part, this is a very just generic lure, and I feel like anything would eat this. Like today, I don't want to spoil the next video, but I had multiple species follow this same lure, like freshwater and saltwater. So I had multiple species follow this, and what's it called? Yeah, they like fish love this lure. So it's a very good search bait. And it's also, I also rig it weedless. So what's it called? You can really get this tight into the mangroves or any structure. And yeah, it's a great search bait. But the exact fluke is it's a DOA, um, and the hook I use is a BKK 2-watt hook, which I think I got the pack right here. So when I rig it this way, I like to use these hooks, which is the BKK 2-watt number 5. Yeah, or it comes with 5. Yeah, it comes with 5. But yeah, this is one of my go-to search baits, when I'm just exploring somewhere new and I don't know what's in the water. So, and you guys have probably noticed in my recent roadside videos, I do throw this a lot for the tarpon. The tarpon love this. They go crazy over it. Um, especially the tarpon between like 5 to like 15 pounds. They just love this lure, and it's been great. And I feel like it's a lure that probably everyone has in their tackle box. There's multiple ways to rig it. I've seen, the most common way I rig it is like this, but I've seen people use, let me show you guys. I've seen people use J hooks, like just a normal J hook, and they'll just kind of like rig it in the front. Yeah, they'll use like a normal J hook and just rig it like this and just twitch it. And I can see how that works. Maybe have a actually, I don't know if you would have a tougher time setting the hook if it's a good sized fish. It will it'll engulf this lure no problem and probably get a better hook rate. But you won't be able to cast it so tight into the mangroves because the hook's so exposed. That's why I tie it weedless. And yeah, I like tying weedless, especially when I'm searching for fish. But yeah, as easy as that. So yeah, one of my go-to lures for just searching new areas and for tarpon. I'll take a free pack. What's up, Domo? Welcome, welcome. What's up, Mr. Irvin? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live. Surprised you guys aren't live streaming in your wherever you guys live stream. But appreciate you guys tuning in. I know you guys are my biggest fans. But yeah, maybe one of these days we'll run a sports break here in this live. I bet I can sell more than you guys. But yeah, welcome you guys. If you guys are just tuning into the live, I'm just here showing you guys some of the lures I use, and just talking fishing. If you guys have any questions about any lures that you guys want to see, if you guys want to see what my favorite like snook lure, tarpon lure, or just have any other questions about any lures I use, let me know in the chat, and I'll show you guys. I'm gonna in just a second. I'm gonna show you guys some lures that I just recently started using or haven't really used too much, but I plan on using. So I'm gonna show you guys in a bit. So I'll just see. I'll let you guys go crazy in the chat. But yeah, you guys, welcome in. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Tom, top of the. Let me see the hook. The hook for the So the hook for the. So these are the hooks I use for when I use any like flukes or any. You can use this for paddle tails too. I don't really like using this type of hook for paddle tails. I'd rather use just a normal jig head like this. To me, it's just I feel like it swims better when I use a jig head like for paddle tails. But when I'm using a fluke, like which is this, I like using, this type of hook. Yeah, but yeah, these do have a screw, so you're able to screw it into the bait, which is nice because they won't really pop off. And the cool thing about these is that it has a little like stopper. So sometimes with these like weedless hooks, like after a couple casts, the fluke just ends up looking like this, which kind of gets annoying. Sometimes the fish are on fire and you just want to cast, and when your lure is looking like this every time, it just gets annoying. So the cool thing about these weedless hooks are that has this little stopper that you can just push it up to the lure. I don't like to like push it too tight, because that means if you push it too tight, like put it all the way over there, like that fish really has to like munch down on it to get this hook exposed. So I kind of like to just kind of put it where the hook is kind of, I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but the hook's kind of exposed like that a little bit, because I've seen people put it like all the way up and look, the hook's kind of like hidden. But I like to put that little acrylic ball, or I don't even know what it's called, but I like to put it just enough where this hook is just barely like the point is just barely tucked away. That way, like if I do, get a fish chasing this, like they don't have to do too much to expose that hook. But yeah, like you can get these hooks at, I believe, I don't know, I got these in Everglades City at that tackle shop, EFC. They carry them. Other than that, I don't know if Ace Hardware carries them. I'll have to look next time I go, but if they do, that would be clutch because these are fire. But I don't remember seeing them, so I'll have to check back next time. But yeah, you guys, these are go-to search bait. Yeah, you guys. What do you guys want to see next? Let me know. Let me know in the chat what you guys want to see next. Give me a second. Let's see what's going on Instagram. Let's see. All right. But yeah, welcome in, you guys. If you guys are just tuning into the live stream, welcome in. Say what's up. Come talk fishing. Right now, I got a whole bunch of lures in front of me. I got lures that I use for tarpon, snook, redfish, and yeah, if you guys want to see lures for a specific fish, let me know. I'm gonna show you guys a couple lures that I haven't used yet or I'm starting to use. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds, see if you guys have any questions before I go ahead and show you those lures. But yeah, all right. Let me grab this. This is a lure that I these are plastics that I have bought and I've only used them once. You guys are probably familiar with them. Um, these are the NLBN K-tails. Um, yeah, I got these because I saw a video of someone using them, and I really liked the way they were swimming in the water. Um, excuse me. One of the one of the big reasons I like the way these swim in the water is that it pushes a lot of water. It moves a lot of water when you're retrieving it, and I really like that. Especially if you're targeting some bigger fish. I feel like lures like this that move a lot of water tend to attract some bigger fish. So that's pretty cool. You know, I haven't really used them too much. I have in my mind a scenario where I really want to test these out, which is fishing like more shallower waters, um, and knowing that the and me knowing that there's like snook in the area. I definitely would probably tie one of these on because you do tie it weedless. I believe you use. Let me see. Oh yeah. So cool thing is you also use these hooks with these K-tails. So you know these are solid hooks, and you know these plastics look really promising. So I can't wait to test them out. You know, from land, I don't really think I would throw these from land just because you know when fishing from land, I like to throw something maybe not as big as this, but I have my go-to lures for land based fishing. But yeah, I'm excited to test these out. um, Once I get the Ginu back, hopefully sometime this week, I'll be the first trip I take on it. I'll be definitely carrying this with me and possibly throwing it in a situation where I just mentioned. So these are a couple plastics I am looking forward to using. But Jonathan, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. That reel should be getting to you sometime, hopefully, sometime early next week. You know, with the holiday, 4th of July. They told me that it might get backed up, so yeah, just a heads up. But yeah, man, congrats again on winning that reel and for staying for supporting the channel, and yeah, can't wait to get your feedback on that reel. Oh, so you've used these for bass fishing? Uh, yeah, I mean, I could see how this can work very well for bass fishing, but I don't do too much bass fishing. But I do fish a lot of places that have bass in them, and you know, I don't mind hooking into a bass. You know, it's not that I don't like them. It's just that I prefer fishing for snook and tarpon. But you know, sometimes these snook and tarpon are congregated in the same waters that bass are. They're all living in harmony. So those are lures. Those are some plastics that I'm looking forward to using. And then let me grab these these plastics. I bought them a while ago, and I bought them for tarpon fishing, for big tarpon fishing. But let me show you guys. These are the Z-Man Mulletron. Yeah, the Z-Man Mulletron. Um, I bought these with the intention of using it for tarpon fishing, but also probably will throw them at some bigger snook. But yeah, these are they look very very good. They look really realistic, um, and I believe they are line through. Yeah, LT line through. So the cool thing about these like line throughs is that when you hook a fish, the hook kind of detaches from the. I believe the hook detaches from the lure, so the lure just kind of like it gets out of the way pretty much. So that way it's just the hook and the fish, and the lure is just kind of like just off to the side, which is cool, because I feel like tarpon and snook they're able to sometimes use that the size of the lure to kind of like maneuver the hook out of its mouth. These those fish are smart. So yeah, these Mollitrons, they look really good. They look super realistic, and I got them in both sizes. I got them in the smaller, I believe it's a 4.5 inch, and then the bigger Molotron is a 6 inch. So I mean, this Molotron definitely going to be using this probably more. But if I see some bigger tarpon, or I know there's some big snook in the area, and I just want to throw big lures at them, this will probably be one of my go-tos. I don't know if they sink very well. I assume they do because they got some weight. I assume they do sink, and you know, yeah, I hope they do sink pretty well because when I'm using like a lure like this, I don't want it to be like on the bottom, or I don't want it to be on the bottom, nor do I want it to be like all the way on top of the water column. I just want it in that perfect range in the middle, and I feel like this should be in the middle of the water column. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using these. And then if you guys watched my recent videos, and what's it called, you guys know I've been throwing a specific shrimp, and let me grab it. So if you guys have been watching my recent videos, you guys know I've been throwing these shrimps. um, these have to be, without a doubt, probably the best shrimp lure on the market. It's the Savage Gear Manic shrimp. Manic. Okay. Manic. Interesting name. But yeah, these shrimp lures are amazing. I don't know what it is about these specific shrimp lures, but they catch everything. And I got to give credit where credit is due. My buddy, Mr. Emmy, Mr. Emmanuel, showed me these shrimps. He started fishing them, probably, um, I don't know, like 2 years, 3 years ago. He started using these like a lot, and ever since, these have been his go-to lures, and now they are definitely one of my go-to shrimps for sure. Probably my go-to shrimp for sure, and it's starting to become one of my go-to lures also because you can legit catch everything with these. If you guys saw that one of my recent videos, like I caught a big black drum on this exact shrimp. The size is, let me see what size it is. It's a 5 inch. It's a 5 inch shrimp, and then this other one is a 3 inch. So this one doesn't look like 5 inch, but I guess this like antenna thing, whatever, makes it 5 inches technically. But these shrimps are amazing. I think what makes them really good is that they do have a small little rattle, and the way they just float when you cast them, they float very well. Like they stay like pretty like horizontal, and they just kind of like slowly like flutter in the water, and I think that's what makes them so good. And just the way it's distributed, yeah, you know just makes it such a great lure. And the hooks that come with these are really good too. They're a pretty beefy hook for a shrimp lure. A lot of shrimp lures I've used in the past, like the hook tends to be on the weaker side. You know, sometimes I've or a lot of times I've had a lot of those shrimp lures, like the hook straighten out on me on just like average fish too. So, but these hooks that come with these Savage Gear shrimps, they're very beefy, and you know it, it's able to stop Goliath groupers. And if it's able to stop Goliath groupers, up to like 30 pounds, like it's good enough for me. So great shrimp lure. I remember my buddy Emmy, he hooked like 100-pound tarpon with this. So they do catch everything. So, and where you can buy these at pretty much any major tackle store. um Ace Hardware, they carry them. Bass Pro, um yeah, I'm pretty much every tackle store has them. um Let me see. I thought I had another shrimp lure that I like to use. I have a lot of DOA shrimp lures too, but they're good. But the hook on them, I'm just not a fan of the hook too much. Like there, but the shrimp also is like the shrimp plastic itself is good, but the hook just lacks a little bit. And yeah, they're still a great shrimp lure to use. But yeah. Oh, and another thing I've been using a lot, and like, well, another lure I've been using recently, and that I used to never really use is I've been using hard plastics. Been using a lot of like twitch baits. You guys know that not a big fan of treble hooks, and I still have not bought the replacement hooks for single inline or whatever they're called. Uh, but yeah, you guys know I'm not a big fan of trebles. Mainly because I don't know. I feel like sometimes it messes up the fish's mouth, and that's the main reason. Second reason I don't like using treble is because a lot of times when I catch a fish, I like to grab him by the lip, and when this is in the way, it's like, all right, how do I grab the damn fish? And I never really carry a net with me. Especially if I'm land-based fishing, I don't want to carry a net with me, but I probably should if I'm using trebles. But but these hard plastics, they've been working really well for me. Um, I like them because you're able to cast these things like really far, especially when you're land-based fishing. A lot of times you can't get to that other side of the spot that you're fishing because it's trespassing or something like that. But when you tie like one of these things, and they're very like top heavy, so like when you cast, you can really like cast this thing a mile. So these are great to cast, and they're just really effective. I was using this one today in today's fishing session, and then I was able to land a pretty decent fish on it, as you guys will see in this week's video. But this ended up getting some good action. So, and it seems like a lot of the hard plastics I use seem to get good action. The only crappy part, about using hard plastics is, besides the troubles, is that they tend to be a little bit on the pricier side. So like losing one of these or getting broken off, like, definitely hurts. Um, I think in the past month I've bought like maybe like 5 or 6 of these, and I've gotten broken off. I think like 2 of them were on fish, and the other 3 I lost in the trees. You know, because these troubles, like, for some reason, they're when it comes to fish swiping at them, sometimes they don't always get stuck. But of course, when I barely touch a tree or something, or some piece of structure, these things just latch on, and then they're hard to break off and end up losing it. So one of the downfalls of using hard plastics is, they can get a little expensive, but they are very effective. And the 2 main brands I've been using is Yozuri and Mirror Lure. And I using this Yozuri today, I was actually a really big fan of it. It pushed water really well, and I felt like it caught the attention of a lot of fish today. So I'll definitely be buying a couple more of these. I'll keep buying some mirror lures too. The mirror lures are a little bit more basic. They don't have as much um, like detail, I guess, but they still are really effective, and they come in really cool colorways. I feel like your Zuri ones tend to be a little bit more, I guess, traditional with the colors. Most of them are just white, you know, black, got gold. I don't see too many like funky colors with the Yuzuri hard plastics. Mirror Lure, they do have a lot of colorways, which is cool. They get pretty creative with them, and some of them are like 3-tone. It'll be like gold with like a yellow belly and like a black back. So pretty cool that Mirror Lure does that. But yeah, been using a lot of hard plastics recently, and they have been working really well. And I see why people like to use them, but still don't like the troubles. But yeah, you guys, welcome in if you're just tuning into the live stream. Um, yeah, let me know what you guys want to see next. I mean, I think we've been streaming for almost an hour. Seems like, yeah, wow, time flies by. Um, yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to see anything specific, um, yeah, let me know. Uh, say what's up if you're in the chat, or if you're tuning into the stream. Um, yeah, you guys, what do you guys want to see? try to think. Oh, recently I came across these Z-Man paddle tails, and if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you guys know I used to use this paddle tail specifically, like religiously. Um, let me just pull out one. So I used to use these all the time, and this was my go-to just lure, just for anything. So this is the Z-Man minnows in a root beer gold. So here's the name of that. But yeah, for the longest time, this was my go-to lure, and I've caught really, really good quality fish on this lure. Um, you know, I'm just such a big fan of using gold colored lures, especially in the area where I'm at. I don't know. I feel like anything gold color really works well down here. So I'm a really big fan of using anything gold down here in the 10,000 Islands. I don't know what it is. Maybe just like the silhouette of the gold. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it entices fish to um hit this color a lot. But yeah, I usually pair this with like a quarter-ounce jig head. Oh, I don't. I used to use these jig heads all the time. The Z-Man Trout Eyes. These are 1/8, but I would always use the quarter-ounce. The quarter-ounce was overall like a really good size, just because even in shallow water, some if it was like under a foot, maybe I wouldn't use quarter ounce, but a lot of the places I would be throwing this would be at least like 2 feet. So the quarter-ounce was perfect because for the most part, when I'm casting any lure, I like for it to hit bottom and just work my way up. But yeah, this with that Z-Man jig head, was just a deadly combo, and I caught everything. I think the biggest snook I caught on this paddle tail was like had to have been like, I think it was like 36 and a half inches, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a good sized snook, and I've caught my biggest, maybe not my biggest red, but I've caught some big reds on this, and tarpon love this too. Um, I think the biggest tarpon I've caught with this one had to have been like 20 pounds, maybe. But yeah, this is all around just a great paddle tail, and this color, yeah, it's my favorite color. And I believe they only make this color in the 3-inch size. Like for some reason, I have never been able to find this color in like the 4-inch Z-Mans, or even like the bigger ones, like the 5-inch. But yeah, it's my favorite color, and anytime I see any tackle store that carries this color, like I always buy one, just because they are harder to find. They're just not as common. But yeah, that's this one of my favorite lures of all time. And then I'm gonna show you guys this other hard plastic that I need to be using more, and what's it called? And it is a top water. So this is a Yuzuri. Is it Top Knock? Is it Top Knock? I'm not sure. Yuzuri Top Knock. Pretty sure that's what it's called. But yeah, this is a top water, and this, you know, this top water was recommended to me by Captain Josh. Shout out to him. He's my client slash a good friend of mine. But yeah, Captain Josh is always getting on me for uh, telling me I got to throw some more top water in my videos. He's a big fan of top water, and I actually used to throw a lot of top water back in my day, especially fishing from land and around bridges. Like I always used to throw top water, but I would never throw the Yuzuri one. I would throw the Super Spook, I believe, and those always worked really well for me. And I would throw the bone color. I always throw bone. um, if I don't throw bone, another colorway I like for top water is black with like a little bit of chartreuse and on the head. But those are really the only top water colors I like. For some reason, I don't know. I've only had luck on those colors, but yeah, these are what's it called? Yeah, these top waters are, they look really good and they look very promising, and I know I need to be throwing them more because it's an effective way of fishing. And it gets your adrenaline pumping, especially like when you see a fish chasing it, and you just see it blowing it out of the water. One of the coolest eats I've ever seen, that I've ever had, was on a top water. I was with my buddy Emmanuel, Emmy, and I pulled up to one of my favorite tarpon spots, and I threw a top water. I believe it was a smaller version of this, and I was just, twitching it, walking the dog, twitch, 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 and all of a sudden you just see like a big, like, that tarpon had to have been like 40 pounds. You see this tarpon just go, like, jump out of the air, like maybe like 4 or 5 feet, like out of the air, just completely airborne. He like pops this top water all the way up. He like launches it, and tarpon like falls back in the water, and he tries to like hit it again and just goes airborne. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like, it's just some of the, one of the craziest eats I've ever seen. And he ended up not hooking, or he ended up not getting hooked. He just kept popping top water out of the water. He kept launching it away from him, but it was so cool. uh, but yeah, that's what makes topwater fishing so fun. Just being able to see those big blowups, and yeah, I need to get back to throwing some more topwater. So I'm definitely gonna make it a thing. And like they say, a lot of people say that throwing topwater in the morning is really effective. And yeah, I definitely will be doing that a lot this summer. But yeah, that's the topwater. Let me see what else I got to show you guys. I got all my tackle here on the table. Is there anything specific you guys want to see? Like anything, you know, any specific species, lures that I use for specific species? Let me know in the chat. I'll be more than happy to show you guys. If you guys are just tuning in, just here talking about some fishing, talking about some tackle. And yeah, just, I could talk about this stuff all day. So let me know in the chat what you guys want to see. Say what's up. You know, let me know what you guys are doing this weekend. What you guys got planned for the 4th of July. I hope you guys are got some plan. Spending it with your loved ones, and I hope you guys stay safe out there on the 4th. It could get a little crazy on the roads. I definitely like to avoid driving on 4th of July. I've had some. Well, I didn't have a close encounter on 4th of July, but on a New Year's Day, I had a close encounter on the roads. Someone driving opposite side of the road. Obviously, he was probably drunk and coming head on towards me. This was a couple years ago, and I had to swerve off the road. And if I didn't swerve off the road, that guy would have ran right into me, like head on, and probably wouldn't be here doing this live stream. So be safe out there, on these holidays that involve a lot of drinking. So yeah, stay safe out there. But yeah, I hope you guys like have a good time this 4th of July. It's very it's a holiday I always like to enjoy. Um, to holiday get together with the fam, eat some good food, fireworks. Here locally, there's a professional soccer team in my area, so I'll probably be going to that soccer game. And probably in the morning, I'll be playing some pickleball. I actually got a pickleball shirt on right now. For those of you guys that play pickleball. But yeah, if you guys follow me on social media, you guys know I play a lot of pickleball. That's, besides fishing, that's like my hobby. I almost played too much, I feel like. But yeah, you guys, let me know. Is there anything you guys want to see? Any specific lures? Let me know. I got all my lures here in front of me. I got some of these NLBNs. You guys know, in some of my earlier videos, I throw a lot of NLBNs, especially this 5-inch for like bigger tarpon. Goliaths like eating these, and snook too. But yeah, if there's big tarpon in the area, um, between the NOBN and this guy, the DOA bait buster, like these have to be like my go-to lures for bigger tarpon. Um, but I think if I have to choose one, which is really tough, I'm not. It's not that I'm very like favoriting one or the other brand, but if I think I had to choose one lure to just throw at these bigger tarpon, it'd probably have to be this one. This one with like where the jig heads, yeah, with like a 3/4 ounce or a ½ ounce jig head with these NOBNs. They seem to do the trick when targeting these bigger tarpon. And I think what I like about these I guess 5-inch NOBNs is like I mentioned in some of the earlier lures I like to use, that it just moves a lot of water, and I feel like fish really like that. You know, the fish they're able to sense when something's moving water pretty well, and I feel like these NLBNs push water very well, and yeah, they seem to attract big fish. My biggest tarpon on artificial was with this exact NLBN in this color, another gold color. I just love gold color lures, but right behind it, this is also my go-to, tarpon lure. If I don't have any NLBNs, or if I just had to grab something quick without even, thinking, I usually have one of these guys ready to go, out ready, and yeah, this is still, you know, a great tarpon lure, and I have a lot of confidence in this, and it works really really well for snook too. I think if I know there's snook and tarpon in the area, like, and what's it called? I want to target both. I would probably throw this, but if I just want to target tarpon specifically, I would just throw this. I know that snook will eat this, but I don't know. I like how this swims a little bit better for snook. But yeah, this is a great tarpon lure, and yeah, like the DOA terrorize, like the DOA terrorize and the bait buster. They have very solid, like stiff, bodies, but when it comes to like the end, they're just very sensitive, and moves a lot of water, and it flutters the water or whatever. And the tarpon seem to love it. So yeah, those are great tarpon lures. And yeah, oh, with these bait busters, I actually like I mentioned earlier that I had custom hooks for my DOA terrorize. I actually have custom hooks for these bait busters. Let me show you guys. These are custom lures for these bait busters. So they are, I believe, 3/4 ounce. So I got these, yeah, from that same guy, Skyline Jigs. So these are very beefy hooks, very sharp hooks. Like this will, yeah, these are super sharp. But yeah, like this hook, I would have no doubts that it could land a tarpon as big as like 250 probably. Like, and it would not, this hook would not even butt or nudge or whatever. So yeah, you guys, anything you guys want to see, let me know in the chat. Um, yeah, I mean, I think I've gone through a good amount of my tackle. There's a couple other things. Another type of hook I like to use if I'm using a cut ladyfish. You guys know that I do like to throw a lot of cut ladyfish. Um, but if I'm throwing cut ladyfish, I tend to use a circle hook, and the exact circle hook I like to use are these Owner inline circle hooks, in the 6/0 size. So I feel like this is a good size for just if you want to hook into some bigger tarpon and snook. This is just a really good size, and yeah, it's a very beefy hook also, and it's my go-to hook when I'm throwing cut bait, cut mullet, cut lady. It's or even if I'm throwing like live mullet, it depends. It would have to be a bigger size mullet, but I would probably use this and just hook it through the nose or the mouth. Um, yeah, I like to use this size hook for a lot of my live bait slash um, cut bait when I'm targeting bigger snook and tarpon. And yeah, I always use circle hooks when I'm using any sort of bait, just because I like for the fish to kind of take it, and you guys know I'm not that good at setting the hook. You guys probably have noticed I lose a lot of fish from not being able to set the damn hook. I have to. I don't know what I do. I feel like I pull up a lot. Maybe I should pull sideways. I don't know, but I lose a lot of fish from not being able to set the hook properly. But yeah, that's why I like using circle hooks when I'm using any sort of bait, because I just let the hook do the work. Let the fish take it, and then once I feel like he's got it in his mouth, then I just tighten or close the bail, and start reeling in, tighten the line, and usually the hook sets. So, and usually it's always a good hook set. With these circle hooks, it tends to be in the corner of the mouth, and or sometimes I've even had tarpon, get hooked with these circle hooks like on their top, on the button is what they call it, right? Like underneath like their top jaw. That's if you hook a tarpon on the button, you're guaranteed to almost land them for the most part, or they will not shake the hook off. But yeah, you're never guaranteed to land tarpon. Those guys are experts at popping the hook off. But yeah, you guys, any other? You guys want to see anything specific? Still got a couple people in the chat. What time is it? Damn, I'm losing track of time. It's almost 11:20. Been streaming for pretty much, let's see, an hour and 17 minutes. Wow, time went by pretty quick. Yeah, you guys, I think I'm gonna do these live streams a little bit more consistently. I do enjoy coming up, just getting on here and just talking fishing, just hanging out with you guys. I can talk about fishing all day, so I do enjoy doing this, and yeah, you guys seem to enjoy it too. And maybe as the weeks pass by, these live streams will get bigger, and maybe we can, I don't know, I'll see if I can come up with some ideas to, get you guys more involved in these live streams, and yeah, see how we can get you guys, involved, and maybe, you know, do like a giveaway or something. I don't know. We'll see. No promises on giveaways, but but yeah, well, I'll see what ideas I can come up with to kind of get you guys interacting a little bit more. But I do appreciate you guys for tuning in to this one. It was kind of last minute. I think next week's live stream I'll definitely announce it. But I'll give you guys a little bit more anticipation. But I should have a video be dropping, like I said, this Friday. I'll most likely drop the new video. That way you guys can watch it on your day off. But yeah, other than that, doesn't seem like any of you guys have any questions for me. Um, I'll give you guys like another minute. If you guys don't have any other questions, I'll end the stream there. Uh, but yeah, if you guys got any last minute questions, anything you guys want to see, let me know. Now we'll end the stream shortly. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in to the live stream. This has been fun. You guys can give me some feedback on how I do these live streams, or if you guys have any suggestions, I'm all ears. I can take criticism, so I have a pretty good backbone, I guess. Or, I don't take things to heart, so you guys can be honest with me. But yeah, you guys, seems like you guys don't have any other questions for me. So yeah, it's pretty late anyways, so I gotta be up early to get to work. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning into this live stream. Means a lot. Like I said, be on the lookout for the new video dropping this Friday. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great night. You guys have a happy Fourth, and yeah, take care, you guys, and just yeah, drink responsibly and stay safe, and yeah, take care, you guys. So, peace.